you're not watching management change. You're watching it change for the fourth time. Every generation of managers thinks they're living through something unprecedented. The foreman on the factory floor in 1780s, watching the first production lines go in, the middle manager in 1965, drowning in a new layer of corporate bureaucracy that didn't exist a decade before, the team leader in 1995 trying to figure out what their job was now that knowledge workers didn't need supervising in the same way. Now, each of them felt like the ground was shifting. Each of them was right. And each of them was also living through something that had a shape. Now, a logic, a direction, a destination that only became visible once you understood that it happened before. What's happening right now with AI and management isn't unprecedented. It's the fourth time the fundamental justification for the management layer has changed. And the managers who understand that, who can see the pattern rather than just feeling the disruption, are exactly the ones who will define what the role becomes next. So let's go through it. There are 4 eras, 4 shifts, 1 through line. The first managers weren't called managers. They were foremen, supervisors or overseers. And their job was brutally simple. Make sure the people doing the physical job kept doing it at the right pace, at the right standard. The organization of that era ran on compliance. The work was physical, repetitive and visible. You could see whether someone was doing it or not. You could measure output directly. The manager's entire value was proximity, being present on the floor, watching, correcting, enforcing. There wasn't a strategy layer and an execution layer. There was ownership and there was labor. Management was the mechanism by which ownership controlled labor. Command and control isn't a management style from this era. It was the entire operating model. Now, the justification for the layer was that human supervision of physical work couldn't be automated or delegated to a system. And that justification held until the work itself changed with the dawn of the second era, that of bureaucratic manager. The post-war economic boom changed everything about the scale of organizations. Companies that had been relatively flat structures suddenly needed to coordinate thousands of people across multiple sites, functions and quite often markets. The complexity was genuinely new. So the response was structure. Layers of management, each with a defined span of control, each responsible for a specific function, each accountable to the layer above it. The org chart, as we still recognize it today, was essentially invented in this period. So was the job description, the performance review, the management off-site, and the culture of meeting as governance. Now, the manager in this era wasn't primarily supervising physical labor, they were administering process, making sure the right paperwork moved through the right channels, enforcing policy, maintaining consistency across a large, complex organization that just couldn't rely on everyone knowing everyone else. Rules replaced proximity and process replaced personal oversight. The manager became the guardian of the system rather than the watcher on the floor. And the justification for the layer was human administration of complex processes in organizations too large for informal coordination. And that justification held until organizations started drowning in their own bureaucracy and a new kind of work started emerging in the administrative model that it couldn't handle. That's when the third era appears, the knowledge work manager. The knowledge economy changed the nature of work in ways that administrative model wasn't built for. The people doing the work now knew more about their specific domain than the manager above them. The output was ideas, decisions, relationships, code, strategy, things that couldn't be supervised the way physical labor could and couldn't be administered the way process compliance could. So the manager's role shifted again, this time toward coordination, bringing people together, managing information flow between teams that were increasingly cross-functional and independent, synthesizing what was happening at the team level and translating it for the layer above. They were acting as the connective tissue in organizations that were complex in a different way than before, not just big, but fast-moving, matrix-structured and informed, dense. This is the era most current managers were trained for. The one-to-one, the team meeting, the status update, the project tracker, the dashboard. These aren't ancient artifacts, they are tools of the third era management, designed for a specific kind of coordination problem in a specific kind of organization. For this layer, justification was human coordination of complex information flows in an organization where knowledge was distributed and fast-moving. And exactly that justification, right now in 2026, is being automated away. So here's my view. We are at the beginning of the era, not the end. The shape of it is becoming visible, but it isn't fully formed yet. What we can say with confidence is what's driving the shift. And therefore, what the new justification for the layer has to be. AI is absorbing the coordination function, the status synthesis, the information routing, and the progress tracking, and the report generation. All of it is being handled faster, more accurate, and more cheaply by systems that don't need managing themselves. The third era justification is gone. So the fourth era manager can't justify their existence through coordination. They have to justify it through something that AI structurally can't do. And as we covered in the last two episodes, that something is the genuine human work. Judgment in ambiguous situations, developing the people around them, holding teams together when the direction gets complicated. It's about keeping execution aligned to the vision without controlling every step of the process. Now, the shift isn't from management to no management. It's from a management model built around controlling systems to one built around empowering people. And that sounds simple, it isn't. Controlling systems is learnable, measurable, and scalable. Empowering people is harder to teach, harder to measure, and much harder to scale. It requires a different kind of skills, a different kind of presence, understanding of where the manager's value actually sits. And most organizations aren't ready for this. Most management development programs aren't built for it. And most managers, through no fault of their own, haven't been trained in it. So let's look across those four eras, and the pattern is relatively consistent. Every time the justification for management layer changed, it wasn't because someone decided to redesign management. It was because the underlying nature of work changed itself. The old models stopped fitting. Physical supervision became irrelevant when the work stopped being primarily physical. Administrative process became irrelevant when organizations got too complex for bureaucracy to keep up. Coordination became irrelevant when AI got better at it than humans. Now, each time there was a generation of managers who'd build their careers on the old model. And some of them adapted, most didn't. The ones who adapted didn't do it by learning a new tool or updating their CV. They did it by understanding what the new era was actually asking of them and building the skills it required before everyone else figured it out. And that's the opportunity sitting inside the current disruption. You're not watching something unprecedented. You're just watching the fourth iteration of a pattern that's been running for over a century. The managers who understand that have a significant advantage over the ones who think they're living through something entirely new. It's unknowable. The shape of it is clear, the direction of it is clear. What left is the decision about what you do with that. Now, the first era manager who adapted didn't fight the production line. They figured out what the production line couldn't do, and they became indispensable at exactly that. The second era manager who adapted didn't try to keep running informal organization when scale made that absolutely impossible. They built the skills the new structure demanded. And the third era manager who adapted didn't pretend knowledge workers needed supervising like factory workers. They learned to coordinate, synthesize, and translate across complexity. The fourth era manager who adapts won't spend that energy defending the coordination work that's being automated anyway. They'll be building the judgment, they'll be building the people skills and the capacity for ambiguity that the new structure is going to demand. The question isn't whether that shift is coming, it's whether you're going to be ahead of it or behind it. That's four eras. The pattern is clear. What you do next is up to you.